Welcome home, Bitcoin Truth Seekers. It is Friday, November 5th, 2021. It's 1:17 p.m. here in the Arizona desert. I'm back. Anyway, let's get started. All right, Bitcoin coming in at 60,917 today. Not bad. In general, looking at the last hour here on Coin360, we can see the market's mostly red, but really it's mostly kind of sideways. Shiba Inu was doing pretty well today. Now it's starting to go kind of sideways. In general, let's check out the market and what it's doing. Last hour, kind of sideways, kind of red. Okay, looking at Bitcoin trading volume, we're at 3,451,000,000, so basically 3.5 billion in trading volume. Need at least 3 billion to make it a good day at all, or even a sideways day, and we're just above that at 3.5 billion if we round it up. So that's not bad for a Friday, but volume definitely is trailing off. We have 2 billion of that on Binance, and Coinbase coming in at 698 billion. So in general, it does look to me like the weekend is beginning to cool off a little bit. All right, looking at spot trading volume on Binance for all pairs, 31 billion, not bad at all. You need at least 30 billion to have a good day. 50 billion is much, much better, but we're at 31 billion, not too bad. But do note, last 24 hours, we're down 18.67%. You can see the 7-day graph here. We are definitely trailing off for the weekend, which is kind of to be expected. So, like to see 70 billion in derivatives, basically futures. We're at 56 billion and we're down 18.5% also last 24 hours. So 56 billion, that ain't 70 billion. And we're down 18%. And then of course also for spot, 31 billion. At least we're in the running. So if you look at the trading volume in general, it's kind of meh, not that great, but not bad. Anyway, definitely trailing off because, well, weekend is coming up. It's Friday. It's the afternoon. Everyone's got other things to do. We're getting into the holidays. People aren't trading. They're, I don't know, visiting their mother-in-law or something. So Bitcoin versus USDT here in the 45-minute chart. This is being pulled from Binance. Well, check this out. If we look, let's go to a 4-hour chart and kind of take a little bit better look at Bitcoin here. And maximize things a little bit. If we do look on the 4-hour chart, we did have a nice break above the 200 moving average back on the beginning of October, and up we go. We kind of made a peak here, met the top of the RSI cave, and we retraced a bit, and now we're going sideways. So if we look at this, 4-hour chart's a good way to see this. I'm going to pull this right from here. That's going to be the bottom of the fib. Here's going to be the top of the fib. If you look, we're right here. We're hanging out. We're riding the 236 fib line right at about 60,989. This I find is an annoying spot when you go to an all-time high, or a recent high basically, that you're going to work in your fib sequence, and then you start coming down to the 236 and riding that thing. It's good here on the 4-hour chart that we're above the 200 moving average. That's definitely strong. We're in the middle of the RSI cave. Let's look at indicators here on the 4-hour chart. Shows the ADX is beginning to come up, but the directional index is still powerfully in the red, but beginning to come up. So ADX and directional index are beginning to look positive, although they are in the red. Squeeze indicator does show downwards, momentum. KRI is definitely in the red and going down. On the 4-hour chart here, the lazy bear wave trend oscillator is a very, very powerful indicator on the 4-hour for Bitcoin. A wave trend oscillator is below the signal and trending down. Looking at the stochastic RSI, we're down here in that kind of buy zone, but the tangent definitely has not turned up yet. So on the 4-hour chart, it looks like Bitcoin is kind of in an annoying spot and kind of taking a nap possibly for the weekend. I don't like when it rides right here. If you can get a good fib sequence and it tends to match, and this one does match the way it's been drawn here on the 4-hour chart, when you just ride that 236, well, we're above the 200 moving average. That's good, middle of the RSI cave. But in general, Bitcoin is just straight up ranging sideways for the weekend. We'll see what happens. Is it going to pump or dump? Big deal. Got to keep above this 200 moving average in the 4-hour chart. That is a big deal. I want to see that happen for sure. Looking at the 45 though, we'll keep that fib sequence in there. But looking at the 45-minute, let's just drill down a little bit. 45-minute chart, you can see riding that 236 fib line, but also do note the 200 moving average right here, the white one, and the blue one, the 314 moving average. We are below both and riding that 236. So basically, we're hitting the weekend, looking at these indicators. a little weak. At most, we're kind of ranging sideways. Let's look at this on the daily. Looking at that same fib level, of course, on the daily, wow, we are the way that kind of works. We are riding that 236 still. I just don't like that position. I'd rather have anyway. We're above the 200 moving average. All is good there. But what I would just kind of note, let's just forget the fib sequence here. Looking at the daily, it's good that we're above the 200 moving average. But it's wonderful upwards movement. Now we're sideways. That's to be expected. Good to go. And let's look at the MACD. Here's the thing. On the daily chart, look at that MACD. It's pretty crappy. So daily MACD is definitely negative, and the histogram is not really moving, closing. It's not closing in the right direction. So basically, especially with the daily MACD being negative and Bitcoin ranging sideways, although it's holding that sideways momentum for sure, I would overall say we're hitting the weekend sideways, and well, there you go, hitting it sideways. I mean, now Ethereum versus USDT, I kind of like this 45-minute chart. It's looking rather stout to me. As you can see, I may actually go to a 4-hour to get a little bit better view here. On the 4-hour chart, we can see back here on around the beginning of the month, October 1st. You can see where it really began to challenge that 200 moving average, broke above it here on like the 3rd, and up it's been going above the 200 moving average right now on the 4-hour charts in the middle of the RSI cave, moving up. How do the indicators look? Overall, they look like they are definitely cooling off. It's not pumping right now, but it is an upwards trend. So let's see how this goes. Good thing to watch here on the 4-hour would be the directional index. It is in the green overall, but it's cooling off, and so is the ADX. So it looks like, Ethereum versus USDT doing quite well. Ultimately, on the 45-minute chart, it's performing much better. On the 45 and the 4-hour chart, really, it is performing better than Bitcoin is. And we'll look at the Ethereum Bitcoin chart too, Ethereum versus Bitcoin, because it's kind of a possible move right now also. So look at the 45-minute chart. You can get a little more granular here, and you can see, we are just like Bitcoin. It's kind of going sideways, and the indicators don't really show too much upwards momentum at this moment. Looking at Doge, it tried to challenge that. It got above the 200 moving average, made a big old burst back on October 27th. Basically gave it all back. It's tried to stay above the 200 moving average. It ranged between the 200 and the 314 until about October 3rd. Now it's below the 200 and the 314. Tried to challenge that 200 today, but in general, these indicators are just crap. So Doge versus USDT, sideways at best going into the weekend. Should be Inu versus USDT. Interesting chart. Looking at the 45-minute chart here, I'm gonna look at this 2 different ways. I'm gonna do it like this, where I do the fib sequence here, where it started to move up to the upward to the top. It kind of did go here today, well, last night basically, and yesterday. It ranged here in the golden pocket between the 618 and the .650. Kind of ranged, even though it went below it, kind of ranged in there, made a bounce. That's kind of cool. It challenged the 5 fib level, and now it's up and it's going sideways. It's kind of finding previous support and resistance right here. We'll see if it can make it above that. So this is not too bad looking, but also I can do this. If I pull more time in here on the 45-minute chart, if I want it, I could actually put this fib level down here. Then when it started moving up, I could do that, and you would see that basically looking at it that way, we're pulling in a lot of time here. This is going back to like, well, it's been going sideways for quite a while. Back here, it's like 23rd of September. Started to get some upwards momentum around the 30th of September. So we're going way back, pulling this fib in. Now here you see this beautiful run where it hung out. This is not too bad. I mean, maybe this invalidates because you just kind of go with it. Kind of looking at the fib 2 different ways. One is a golden pocket bounce. If we do the fib here, when it started to move up, you kind of have a golden pocket bounce there. It went below it a bit, but that's kind of good. I like to see that. And we definitely challenge that .5 fib level. Maybe we're going to move up from there. If you want to go way back to here, when it started to find momentum upwards, that is basically a .5 fib bounce. Not a bad place at all. Now it's over the 382 and it's cooling off. And either way, regardless of how you look at it, it is challenging now previous support and resistance. Let's see if it gets above it. So all about your faith in in the one true SHIB. If we pull in some more indicators here and look at it, make it all pretty, you can see the directional index is in the green, ADX. The tangent is just poking up, so we have a positive green directional index. ADX is popping up. Tangent's looking good. This indicator sometimes just kill that one. Doesn't work with everything. KRI is screaming. I would watch out. Stochastic RSI is up here in the overbought level, and the weight trend oscillator by Lazy Bear is showing probably not too much more gains to go. So also do look at this on a 45-minute chart. This is a really, really super big, mega big deal. Looking at this right now, what is it doing? What am I always, sitting here, caterwauling about? The 200 moving average, especially on the 45-minute chart. Look at that. It is challenging right now as we speak. You're probably on the edge of your seat. It's challenging the 200 moving average on the 45-minute chart, and it has regained some upwards momentum. So with that said, if it can find support above this, if it closes the candle above that, 200 moving average, that is a grooving thing. Now the 200 is below the 314. I'd rather the 200 be above the 314 and then make a clean break above both of them within 2 candles, and then do the little blue diamond merit badge. But it has not done that. But as you can see by the little pink square, it is challenging and getting above the 200 moving average. Let's see if we can get a bit of an aggressive burst right here. We are going into the weekend, and of course volume's going down as it usually does across the market, but doesn't mean Shiba Inu cannot start running again. So I'm going to be watching this for a candle or two close above the 200 moving average, and maybe I would hop back into it. These indicators in general are a little bit overextended towards the upside, but not looking too bad. If we can find support above that 200 moving average, not financial advice, just saying this is what I'm going to do. If we find a support above there, I will probably get a small position, hedge in a little bit, and put a stop loss right below that 200 moving average and get out if it doesn't move the way I want it to. Not a big play, not a lot of confidence in it right now, but it definitely could start moving. If nothing else, it's nice to see that it's getting back some of what it gave back. So good to go. Upwards trend, I like it. Now, Ethereum versus BTT, the sweetest trade in crypto, I think, basically, as you can see, ever since around the 20th of October, or you could really say the 19th of October, Ethereum has been outgaining percent-wise Bitcoin. So an Ethereum versus BTC trade right now, ADX is not where I want to see it. It's trending down. Slight green directional index. Squeeze indicator showing some upward burstiness, which is nice. It's pretty strong, but it's cooling off. KRI is trending down. Stochastic RSI is trending down. Weight trend oscillator by Lazy Bear is trending down here on the 45-minute chart. So I'll let this guy cool off, but I'm watching this very, very closely. It's going sideways because kind of the market's going sideways, in my opinion, right now. Of course, some alts are always going to be pumping 60 or 100% today. That happens, but overall, just looking at the Coin 360 the last hour, we're seeing kind of a sideways market. Although CRO went insane today. Look at a chart for CRO. If you are a crypto.com card holder, you're probably pretty happy. CRO lost its friggin' mind today. Let's chart that one before we're done. Okay, well, with that said, Ethereum versus BTC, it's cooling off right now. We're going into the weekend. I'm watching this closely. I do think this could be a badass trade through the end of the year. Just got to get in at a good time. This is what I consider kind of a long, but I'm definitely going to buy it when it's going to be in profit and have a stop in profit. Yeah, definitely going to buy it when it's going to be in profit after I buy it, and then put a trailing take profit that will keep it in profit and sell it if it turns around, because, I don't do red. With that said, Sol versus BTC, Solera is definitely a player. I think it's going to be one of the things that truly gives Ethereum a run for its money as we go into the end of the year and into next year, because basically if you're an NFT person, which NFTs are just doing a lot of stuff, they certainly are. It's a big deal. Solera is definitely the better blockchain to be using, and people are using it. If nothing else, right there, I think Solera is definitely an Ethereum, not an Ethereum killer. Ethereum will win in the end, but definitely check it out, Sol versus BTC. It has been outgaining BTC, but it's cooling off hard right now. Indicators are junk right now, but that's great. It's doing a nice retrace. I would personally, I guess I'm going to tell you I'm telling you what I would do, because this is what I'm doing. I'm going to do a fib right here. I'll watch this sucker. And okay, we're down. I like that we're past the 236. I hate when things ride the 236 because it usually means that they're, just from my experience, it means that they're going to dump. It means they're not going to stay there. If you ride longer, you ride the 236 on a good solid fib retracement, then the less likely you are to pump off of it. So good. We've dumped below it. We're dumping below it. Let's see if we can find here at the bottom of the RSI cape, maybe a 382 fib bounce, or possibly a .5. Anyway, I'm not attached to it. Whatever happens, happens. 45-minute chart. We're well above the 200 moving average. I love it. This is good. I think definitely Sol versus BTC could be a badass trade. Now, let's look at, just because it's just friggin' inspiring, let's look at Crow versus USDT. Where can you buy that on? Let's look on, you can get Crow versus USDT on Coinbase. Okay, sorry. I just didn't know. I never noticed that. That's pretty badass. Oh, that's new. Oh, is that why is that why it's cranking? Because they put it on Coinbase. Okay, well that would explain a lot. Well, let's look at Crow versus USDT on where it's probably been for a while. KuCoin. All right, there we go, where it's been for a while. So maybe it's the Coinbase listing, but look at that beautiful green directional index. ADX is really high. KRI is high, but cooling off. Wave channel oscillator, not wave channel oscillator, but stochastic RSI definitely shows we're here in the you have overbought zone. So, and definitely the wave channel oscillator by Lazy Bear is showing we're coming down. So anyway, maybe that just pumped on news and it's not going to continue. Maybe that's because it just released on Coinbase. So anyway, whatever happened, this thing is on fire. And it does show ultimately the power of, well, the 200 moving average for a 45-minute chart. As you can see, all these blue diamonds and little pink squares, it was bursting above and below that 200 moving average. It was getting momentum. Eventually kind of tried a couple times, eventually made that nice bounce right here, and bam, rocket ship to Pluto. So it's definitely way friggin' overextended right now. So I'm not even going to touch it, but I'm glad it's doing well because I have a Crow card. So anyway, or Crypto.com card, definitely check out in the description, Crypto.com card. Badass. It really works very, very well. I like it for many, many reasons that I won't go into right now. Well, with that said, I'm going to get back to this, damn it, and start doing these things daily and making them better and faster because I just enjoy doing it. And it's really important that first thing in the morning, I get my shit together and get a video out so I can be more successful during the day and then also help you do also. So I'll keep at this. Darn it. And if I don't, please in the comments, call me a candy ass, say, get your ass up and make a video. Also, you can check this out on Telegram and on Discord. I had those linked too in the show notes in the description. Join on Telegram, join on Discord, and let's party, let's share charts, let's have fun. And yes, if by chance you don't see a video in a timely manner in the morning, then give me shit about it and say get your loser ass out and up and make a video. With that said, remember, for every Bitcoin Satoshi you own, a piece of shit banker cries. And I had a long conversation, a 2-hour conversation with David Devine of Adapt 2030. He'll be posting that on YouTube pretty soon. And I will share that here because we talked about basically being positive if it kills you. Smile if it kills you, because that's going to make your life work better. Negative traders lose money. Positive traders make money. Negative people, their lives are crap. Positive people, they're having a good time. So be on the better side of things. Smile if it kills you. And remember that every Bitcoin Satoshi you own makes a piece of shit globalist banker friggin' wants to poison us all with injections and shit. Cry. Take care.